My pick is the Series 7100 over the DiamondClean 9000. The two brushes are ultimately very similar, but given the features and the price at the time of recording, the 7100 is the better buy in my opinion. From a cleaning point of view, they are comparable and I couldn't say one is better than the other. From a technical and features standpoint, there are a few noticeable differences. They are as follows. The Series 7100 has Sonicare's next generation Sonic technology. The 7100 has a sensitive cleaning mode, whereas the 9000 has deep clean. The 7100 has a visible pressure sensor. The 7100 typically comes supplied with an extra brush head. You get a longer battery life on the 7100. The 7100 has a USB charging stand rather than the 2-pin setup of the DiamondClean. The supplied charging travel cases are different. The Series 7100 is quieter. The 7100 is a bit lighter in the hand and marginally shorter. The 7100 is made in the Netherlands and China compared to the China only with the DiamondClean. The DiamondClean is more expensive. Taking a look at each of these differences in more detail then. As the newer of the two brushes, the Series 7100 has Sonicare's next generation sonic brushing technology. What this means is that the motor has been configured so the bristles provide a more consistent power and cleaning motion when they are under pressure in tight spaces of the mouth, such as between my cheek and molar teeth. Having used both, I can't say personally I felt a difference, maybe a slight improvement with the Series 7100, but I don't know if this was psychological because I knew the difference was supposed to exist. Thus I can't say there isn't an improvement, but I'm hard pushed to tell the difference. I'm sure Philips are correct in what they are saying, so there is potentially some benefit to be had with the 7100, but I wouldn't be too attached to this specific difference as a reason to buy the newer model. Both brushes have 4 cleaning modes. They each have clean, gum care and white mode, where the 7100 has sensitive mode, the 9000 has deep clean. Whilst a specific cleaning mode might in certain circumstances deliver better results for one individual than another, the reality is that the plaque removal isn't all that different. With the 3 intensities each brush has and the 4 modes, there are 12 different possible cleaning options, which is far more than I or you need. I really wouldn't worry too much about this difference. Whilst both models have a pressure sensor, the 7100 has a visible sensor in addition to the vibration and audible alerts. A ring around the base of the brush handle is lit purple when the sensor is activated. I just need to relieve the pressure and the light will go out. It's another handy visual clue that I'm not brushing my teeth correctly. It can vary depending on different bundles and package contents on offer, but as a general rule the 7100 comes with 2 G3 Premium Gum Care brush heads compared to the 1 C3 Premium Plaque Control head supplied with the 9000. Like the modes, I don't worry about this. Yes, the extra head in the box is nice, but both handles use the same range of interchangeable heads. Those that fit the 7100 do also fit the 9000 and vice versa. They can be purchased separately and the cost saving of the supplied is minimal. Although different heads can provide a different brushing sensation and potentially different cleaning results, much like the cleaning modes, I wouldn't get too worried about which you are using. All do a good job of removing plaque from the teeth. A rechargeable lithium-ion battery is installed in both brushes. The DiamondClean has a claimed usage time of 14 days compared to the 21 of the Series 7100. In my use, both far exceeded the claimed time, with the 9000 lasting 33 days and the Series 7100 41. I can't fault either here, that's at least a month's battery life for both on a full charge. When it comes to charging, the provided stands achieve the same thing, taking up to 24 hours to recharge the battery, but the 7100 has a USB charging stand rather than 2-pin configuration on the DiamondClean. There are pros and cons to both, and ultimately it's personal preference as to which you prefer. I think the USB option is more versatile than the 2-pin setup, but it would be nice if an adapter came in the box to allow the USB connection to be converted to 2-pin. This can be purchased separately. As you can see from the image on screen, the stands look different too. The DiamondClean is bulkier and looks a bit classier. If you like to leave your brush on the stand all the time, maybe the 9000s looks better. I can't say I really like one better than the other. A small noteworthy point here, although Philips don't actively promote it, is that the battery in the Series 7100 can be replaced by myself at home with only the most basic tools. This is a plus for repairability that the DiamondClean does not offer. Both come with a premium charging case that allows the brush to be recharged whilst inside the case, providing the USB cable is connected to a power outlet. The Series 7100's case is more compact and holds the handle and one head, beats the handle and 2 heads of the 9000. The case weighs in at 109 grams rather than the 188 of the DiamondClean. The 7100 has a smooth touch plastic finish to the case, whereas the 9000s has a more leatherette feel and texture. The big difference is that the USB cable is built into the 9000's travel case and gets stowed on the underside. With the 7100, the cable is detachable with no place provided to store the cable. This cable has a USB Type-A connector at one end and a proprietary connector at the other. In some respects, I think this is less convenient. For a regular traveller, having the cable built into the case is a real plus, but for most I think the 7100's case is more practical, particularly given the few times I'm likely to need to charge it whilst in the case. It's worth noting that there is a special edition of the 9000 that has a travel case that doesn't offer charging. It's not massively different, but in my testing the Series 7100 produced an audible humming sound that maxed out at 65 decibels, whereas the 9000 peaked at 71. These subtle differences result in a weight variant in the handle of 19 grams in favour of the 7100. The handle depth and width are nigh on identical, but the overall height of the new version is 1.5 centimeters shorter too. The DiamondClean is made in China. The Series 7100 is made in the Netherlands according to the base of the handle and the box, but the charging stand and travel case for the 7100 is labelled as having been made in China. Prices are subject to change, but based on the pricing I have seen and tracked, the DiamondClean works out more expensive. Both have a retail price of £350. The typical selling price of the 7100 is in the region of £140, versus the £230 of the 9000. The resulting 3-year ownership cost is £210 for the 7100 and just over £300 for the 9000. However, this might well be different when you are looking to buy. Links to buy either are available in the video description.